The cinema world was shaken by heartbreaking news. Catherine O'Hara, the beloved actor behind Schitt's Creek, Home Alone, and Best in Show, passed away at the age of 71 on January 30th after a brief illness. Catherine leaves behind the great love of her life, her husband of more than 30 years, production designer Beau Welch, and their two sons, Matthew and Luke. And our thoughts are with them as they navigate this profound loss. And if Catherine's career was unforgettable, her love story with Beau was just as cinematic. She met Beau Welch while working on Tim Burton's 1988 classic Beetlejuice, where Welch served as a production designer.
Is there one specific project that you look back and you're like, that was a real special one?
On a personal level, Beetlejuice, because I met my husband on Beetlejuice. He designed the sets.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's a production designer. And Tim Burton made him ask me out.
Yeah.
So on a personal level, and we're still married, which is wonderful.
And yes, even behind the scenes, there was a little movie magic at work.
He was talking to me every day. It was like high school. He was just talking to me every day, like by our lockers. And then he never asked me out. And then he went on to prep the stuff in Vermont. And I'm grousing to Tim Burton about how the production designer never asked me out. He said, let me see what I can do.
So, Tim Burton stepped in and quietly played matchmaker, arranging a casual trip to a swap meet with the film's art department to give them a chance to connect. And just like that, the rest is history. Born and raised in Canada, O'Hara later made a life-altering decision for love. She relocated to California to be with Welch. She later told The New Yorker, "I moved to LA to be with him. Yeah, I moved for love." It sounds simple, but really, it showed just how much he meant to her. The couple married on April 25th, 1992, and even their wedding chapter came with an unforgettable story. As a gift, Tim Burton arranged a private Vatican tour for them.
Okay, a priest took us around. He got yelled at one point. I wish I spoke Italian, but he was definitely getting yelled at by another priest because we were in the Pope's closet, like looking at garments. It was crazy. We were in the elevator that he takes down to St. Peter's Basilica to do Mass.
The tour ended in a small museum filled with gifts given to the Vatican, where the same priest jokingly pretended to slip a crown into Beau's backpack while taking pictures of them. Not long after these unforgettable adventures, Catherine and Beau began building their family. They welcomed their first son, Matthew, in 1994, followed by Luke in 1997. Though the boys were raised in Canada, they later found their own paths in Hollywood, working in set dressing and construction, and even teaming up with their mother during her time on Schitt's Creek. Would you believe us if we told you that Catherine was not a fan of shooting scenes alone? The Schitt's Creek star has admitted that she felt like she was showing off when she performed solo scenes and would rather be with someone else on screen or stage so she could share the showing off, and didn't feel all attention was on her, which was bizarre considering that she was a fan favorite. After the show's widespread success, it's hard to imagine that Catherine was reluctant to join the cast when Dan Levy first approached her. She only jumped on board after being told that she could be involved in creating her character. Dan was fortunately more than happy to oblige. Moira's use of the English language and fashion choices in Moira's voice were all Catherine's ideas.
Oh dear. David's nocturnal aneurysms used to only happen when he went to bed all juiced up with excited anticipation about something.
I explain the voice as souvenirs from all my world travel. I've taken a bit of all the people I've met in the world, and I am sharing it with you.
Well, the accent was kind of up to me. The accents, I should say. Because when people try to imitate that character, the mistake most people make is being consistent. I was like, no, don't. Eugene would have to remind me. I would lose it. He'd say, what's your favorite movie? And I'd go, The Aviator.
Even after bringing so many iconic characters to life, Catherine's legacy reaches far beyond the screen. It lives on in her children, in the family she built, and in the love that shaped her life off-screen. And just a month before Catherine's passing, the world also said goodbye to another cinema legend, Brigitte Bardot. Brigitte Bardot, the French actor and singer who became an international sex symbol before turning her back on the film industry and embracing the cause of animal rights activism, has died aged 91. Brigitte Bardot wasn't just a sex symbol. She was a woman who lived entirely on passion, even when it destroyed her. Bardot once said she left movies the same way she left men, before they could leave her. And that single line explains almost everything about her life. Born into a wealthy Parisian family in 1934, Bardot was trained as a ballerina before she ever stepped in front of a camera. At just 15, she appeared on the cover of Elle. By 18, she wasn't just modeling. She was creating a new image of femininity. Barefoot, fringe-cut hair, unapologetically sensual. The world had never seen anything like her. Brigitte Bardot married 4 times and is said to have bedded more than 100 lovers, including women, in her lifetime. Her first great love was director Roger Vadim. They met when she was just 16, fell wildly in love, and defied her parents to be together. When they tried to separate her from him, Bardot attempted to end her life. 2 years later, they married. Vadim would go on to direct Bardot in And God Created Woman in 1956, the film that turned her into a global sex symbol. She was instantly labeled the original sex kitten, a title that followed her everywhere, whether she wanted it or not. Despite censorship, it became the most successful foreign film ever released in the US. But the passion that fueled their rise couldn't sustain their marriage. Both were unfaithful, and 4 years after their wedding, they separated, divorcing in 1957. Vadim later reflected without bitterness, "I preferred a wife who was unfaithful to me over a woman who loved only me." While And God Created Woman made Brigitte Bardot a star, it also ignited one of her most talked about affairs. On set in 1956, Bardot fell for her co-star Jean-Louis Trintignant, even though both were married at the time. The chemistry was undeniable, and the fallout was swift. Trintignant soon divorced his wife, actress Stéphane Audran, and moved in with Bardot. For a while, they lived together, wrapped in the intensity Bardot always chased. But as had happened before, passion cooled. Within 2 years, she walked away, this time for singer Gilbert Bécaud, who was also married. It was a familiar pattern. Bardot later admitted she was always searching for something stronger, something more consuming, and she was almost always the first to leave. With Trintignant, the love affair burned bright, and burned out just as fast. Brigitte Bardot's life took a dramatic turn, with actor Jacques Charrier, her co-star in Babette Goes to War. Unlike her previous lovers, Charrier wanted stability and marriage. They wed in 1959, and soon Bardot found herself pregnant. It was a moment she never wanted. Surrounded by paparazzi and public pressure, she felt trapped rather than fulfilled. The birth of their son, Nicolas, in January 1960 was chaotic and deeply distressing, taking place at home because photographers blocked her way to the hospital. Bardot later admitted she never bonded with her child, saying she was simply not made to be a mother. The marriage unraveled quickly. By 1962, Bardot and Charrier were divorced, and he was granted custody of Nicolas. Years later, her brutally honest memoir reopened old wounds, leading Charrier and their son to sue her for the pain her words caused. A rare moment when Bardot's freedom came with real consequences. In 1997, Bardot was ordered to pay Charrier and Nicolas over $30,000. In 1966, Brigitte Bardot met Günter Sachs, a German millionaire with movie star looks and unlimited money, in Saint-Tropez. Sachs courted her like a fairy tale. Days after they met, a helicopter flew over her home and showered it with thousands of red roses. Bardot later wrote that she was hypnotized by him, even amused that he owned the same Rolls-Royce she did. They married just 2 months later in Las Vegas, in a blur of wealth, headlines, and excess. But the fantasy didn't last. Almost immediately, old patterns returned. Affairs followed, on both sides, and the marriage quickly unraveled. By 1969, they were divorced. Still, Sachs never spoke bitterly. Years later, he summed it up simply: a year with Bardot was worth 10 with anyone else. By 1992, Brigitte Bardot was done with spectacle. Fame had exhausted her, passion had burned her out, and Hollywood was long behind her. That's when she met Bernard Dormal, a low-profile businessman who offered something she'd never truly had before: stability. They met in July, and just weeks later they married quietly, far from cameras, premieres, or scandals. It was Bardot's 4th marriage, but also her longest. According to Dormal, their relationship helped Bardot reconnect with her estranged son, Nicolas. Shortly after they met, She called him and asked to see him, a step she hadn't taken in years. When she suggested getting married during the visit, they did it simply, with only close friends present. There were no grand gestures this time. No roses from helicopters, no tabloid frenzy. Just companionship, routine, and calm. And for a woman who had spent her entire life running toward passion, or running away from it, that quiet ending may have been the most radical choice of all.